Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our hot seat segment again today. I hope our day has been going on well, and I trust we've been doing good. And today, as usual, we have an old girl that will be joining us on the hot seat this evening by name Mrs. Temitope Benjamin-Iraya. She's of the 95 2001 set, and today she's our guest as one of our ESCO special that we started few months back, and she's the chief whip two of our association. So she would be on the hot seat this evening in line of our duties and not as an old girl like we do before. So I'm still your host, Osamagbe Nabulili, as you all know me, Osas, and I'll be anchoring today's segment also as usual. Please drop your questions for our guest. I hope my guest is already online. You can drop your questions for her. She will definitely answer them. I'll read them to her. And as usual, I have my own questions also for her. So, in case you're just joining us, my guest today is the Chief Whip 2 of our association, the newly inducted Chief Whip 2 in person of Mrs. Temitope Benjamin-Iraya. She is of the 95 2001 set. So, I'll be bringing my guests up very soon. I'm sure my guest should be online now. See, Temitope, please, if you're online, can you please drop a text in the comment section so I would know you're online? Good evening, Ma. Good evening, Mom Yodewale. So good to have you here again on today's segment. Thank you for joining. As always, I appreciate. You can drop your questions, Ma, for the guest. She's the Chief Whip 2, the newly inducted Chief Whip 2 of our association, and she will be joining us this evening in respect to our office as the Chief Whip. So, please, Temitope, if you're online, elections are here already waiting. We want to start this as soon as possible. So if you're online, can you please just drop a comment so I know you're online? And I'm going to send an invitation to you so you can just click on that invitation and then you are up here. You're up here and then we can start. Omobanke, thank you very much. Thank you, sis, for joining. Thank you. I appreciate good evening. So, sis Temitope, we are waiting for you. Can you please just drop a comment on this comment section and let me know that you are here so I can know. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm on already. I'm on already. So I don't know. Can you see me? And Olashans are here already. So I think you are the one we're waiting for. Can you please just drop a comment in the comment section? Can you just drop a comment in the comment section so I know you are available now? Okay, my guest will be here anytime soon. In case you're just joining, her name is Mrs. Temitope Benjamin-Iraya. She is of the 95 2001 set, and she is the current Chief Whip 2 of our association, the newly inducted Chief Whip 2 of our association. So we are bringing her here to talk more about her office, what she has promised, what she's doing already, and what she still has to do. So please drop your questions for her. I will be sure to read them out to her, and I'm very sure my guest is ready to answer her questions. Here's my glasses. Okay, please let me know if you're here. I'm not sure you're here. Can you just drop a comment on in the comment section if you are seeing me? I'm sending an invite to you right now. So please drop a comment in the comment section if you are seeing me. I'm not sure you are. I'm not sure you're seeing me. And if you're seeing me, I've sent you an invite. In case you're seeing me and you did not get the invite, you can just make a request. Make a request to be here and I'll add you up immediately. I think that's another possible way to have you here. God. Okay. All right. I'm saying it again. So can you just accept and then we can start up immediately? Yes, my guest is here already. Oh, great. Good evening, Ma.
Good evening, Osas. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. And
Thanks for
I'm sure
having me.
you're ready to attend to our questions.
Mm,
Okay.
it's really
And
a
like
hot
I,
seat, so
okay, this is also,
so
yes.
let's see.
Yeah, and like I said, like I told you before, we are not bringing you the hot seats basically was should I say initiated for us to know ourselves as Russians. We go up close and personal with whoever is coming up on the hot seat each time, and then we get to know more about her. But we have an ESCOs series that we are doing right now for the newly inducted ESCO. So that is in the capacity of what we're bringing you here for. So nothing personal about you, just your office, just like I've told you before. So, in case you're just joining us, this is my guest here, Mrs. Temitope Benjamin-Iraya. She's of the 95 2001 set, and she is the newly inducted Chief Whip 2 of our association. And I think we'll have a good ride we had this evening. So the best is for us to just start. People are already waiting and they're watching. So let us just start by means of introduction. Can you please introduce yourself to everyone watching this evening?
Okay, thank you once again, Osas. My name is Temitope Adetola Abiola. Benjamin-Iraya, that's my husband's name. So I'm of the 1995 2001 set of our prestigious school,
Okay.
Olas Ijebuode. And I'm also the chief whip too, you know, these newly elected ESCOs, that's why I'm on this hot seat,
Okay.
anyways. And I
Mm-hmm.
live in Abuja. Yeah, I live and work in
All
Abuja,
right.
and I'm married with children to the
Okay.
glory of God. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a very brief and good introduction. So I think now we can go into your office as a person.
Hmm.
And I know before you were elected into position, you campaigned and we had lots of expectations from you. You had a whole lot to give us because you campaigned, we read your manifesto and all. So I want to ask you, what were the major areas of your duties, your core duties, that you felt okay, you could do better than your predecessor, and then you had those plans in place for yourself before coming into office? You've seen your predecessor do some things, and then okay, reading the constitution and all, you have this essential duties to perform as the chief whip in the capacity of a chief whip. What were those things that you felt okay you would do differently from your predecessor when you were vying for office?
Okay, thank you once again, Osas. I thought of the first thing I thought of is resolutions, conflict resolutions. You would agree with me that in the past, there
Okay.
were some conflicts that were not well resoluted,
Mm-hmm.
or let me even say it as it is. There were no resolutions. There were lots and lots of
Okay.
back and forth and all that. So um I believe the office of the chief whip this time around would be able to do awesome and absolute
Okay.
conflict resolutions without bias, you
Okay.
know without sentiments. Yeah, that's one. And then
Okay.
instilling the bedrock of discipline across board. Discipline is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Orderliness is very important. So also
Mm-hmm.
instilling that bedrock of discipline, in our OGA should be there, across board.
Okay.
And when I mean across board, I mean from the top to the bottom of the ladder. You know, no one is
Mm-hmm.
exempted, no sentiment, no
Exempted.
biases. Yes, thank you. Exemptions. And then
Comment.
also to encourage decorum. you know there's something called
Okay.
mutual respect. Mutual respect for
Mm-hmm.
you, and then vice versa. I respect you, you respect me. You understand?
Respect me.
So
Yes.
mutual respect, for each other, and to build formidable, healthy relationships. At the same time, to build healthy, formidable, healthy relationships. We are all sisters. We all need each
Mm-hmm.
other. No man is an
Yes.
island. So this time around, I really trust God for the office of the chief whip, as a whole, to be able to do these things. We would be able to do it better. And then we would instill confidence in the OGA. The OGA will be rest assured that, oh, if it comes to this present dispensation, they
Okay.
would be able to, do justice to
All
issues.
right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that response. And in line of that, I think I'll have this question asked. So far in your tenure, you said these were the things you made you made resolutions on doing when you get into office, and now finally you're in office. So far you've been in office. What are the challenges that you have faced in the course of discharging your duties?
Okay. I would say, we're still very new.
Okay.
We're still very, very new. I would say there's been, some teething issues, teething problems, just here and there.
Okay.
But I can't really, for now, say, oh, this is a particular challenge. And when I mean teething issues, I mean, little, tiny issues, you know, here and there, but not, major ones for now. And I believe it's because we're still new, you know,
Okay.
we're still new. So as we go on this beautiful journey, God helping us, we would be able to, you know, discharge or give to the OGA that which, we promised to or we
Okay.
pledged to do. Yes.
Okay. So if I get you correctly, you're trying to say since the inception of your tenure, you have really not had an edge cutting issue for you to act on. So basically, there has been no challenge so far in discharging your duties, if
And
I
no,
get you
you use
correctly.
the word, Osas, you use the word major challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You use major, yeah.
Okay.
So now that there has not been challenges, there
Okay.
have been. That's why I called it teething. When they say
Okay.
something is teething, something is a little here, a little there. It is not major. I'm only following what he said. We
Mm-hmm.
haven't had a major, but I know you
Okay.
and I know the major is coming.
Okay. Okay. So
Aha.
in that line, I have a
Mm-hmm.
question. Not a form of
Okay.
condemnation, but an accusation. We had
Okay.
a meeting. Yes, we had a meeting not too long. And
Yeah.
then, if I am to read from your duties as a chief whip,
Mm.
let me read out. Please forgive I can't get a hold of my
No
glasses. So,
problem.
yes. So, your office is responsible for designing and delivering good practices, which includes orderliness. Oh, my guest went off. That must be network. Oh, Temitope, please, would love to have you back. I think we are having a good ride, and this is going to take a while. I am very sorry. The network must have caused this. If you're online again, please just send an invite. Okay. All right. That was the network.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sis.
No
Sorry.
problem. I understand. I just
Thank
hope
you.
yes, I just hope it doesn't interrupt again. It's nothing
Yeah,
you
I hope so.
can, yeah,
I hope
it's
so.
nothing you have a control over. So, like I was
Actually.
saying, it's an accusation, but not to condemn. Your
Mm.
office, I was reading, your office is responsible for designing and delivering good practices, which includes orderliness at every OGA meetings. Now we had a virtual meeting the last time. So many members disturbed that meeting.
Mm.
We had in the comment section so many people, they were not really enjoying the flow. Can you please mute yourself? Can you please mute yourself? Yes, this is not a physical meeting, but we can attribute the same duties you are to carry out in a physical meeting to this. None of you were present to do anything concerning that. So should we expect a change next time, or should we expect the same thing? Like when people try to disturb our meetings, the chief whip is not there to say, okay, let me mute this person, or let me take this person off if she is not agreeing to the terms and conditions of this meeting. Let me take her off when she's ready to comply by muting herself. then she can come in again. Should we expect a change, or should we say, oh, because it is online, then let us flow with it like that?
Thank you, Osas. I would want to apologize. Yes, I
Okay.
would apologize for that. Yes, yes, I would apologize. And I would say that at the next or subsequent meetings, it won't be like
Mm-hmm.
that. We would do better. We would liaise with the
Okay.
office of the general secretary, and we would
Okay.
put in place orderliness in
Orderliness.
our
All right.
subsequent meetings. So
All
once
right.
again, I
Thank you.
apologize.
No problem. I
Thank you
think
too.
that's to all Russians, and we accept the apology, and we expect to see something
Thank
better
you.
because it doesn't have to be
Yes,
the
you would.
physical meetings alone. Even the virtual
You would.
meetings, we still need orderliness. So whoever is
Yes.
speaking, we can hear, and no interruption of any
Yes.
form. All right. Thank you very much, Ma, for that. I have another
Thank you.
question for you. I know in the course of
Okay.
discharging your duties, you have seniors, you have juniors, you have mates, you have those that are old enough to be your mother, you have those that you can call your sisters, your aunties, you have those that you can even give birth to, you know. And there's something called bias here. Maybe you
Mm.
even have friends or relatives amidst the Lashans. It's possible. And then, in the course of discharging your duties, you would have to step on toes. Have you put any plans in place for you to avoid these biases that would help you to discharge your duties effectively? Because we can't rule that out. There would be biases. There are people you're close to, and then when your office requires you to sanction such a person and effect such sanctions, you're not able to do that because, oh, this is my auntie or this was my school mother. What plans have you put in place as a chief whip to say,
Mm.
okay, I'm going to eliminate all forms of biases and still discharge my duties correctly?
Okay. Thank you, Osas. I like the question because it is biases. Let me say it is this biases and sentiments and familiarity and all that has caused a lot of problems in our OGA. So I
Yes.
would say personally, then going into the chief whip office again, that we would discharge our duties without
Okay.
fear or favor.
Okay.
By God's grace,
We will
we
hold you
would
to
do
that.
that. Yes, please do that.
Okay.
And we
Okay.
would be an open book. Every
Okay.
step of the way, every resolutions, every recommendations, you know, every probably punishment or whatever it is we're missing
Okay.
out. We would be an open book, and it will not
All right.
sway to any
Okay.
side. It would stand, on the wheel of justice to do the right and the correct thing. When we, were campaigning, that was what we pledged. And when we were
Yes.
elected, Olasians elected us because we said we would do that. So we will
Okay.
not now say, oh, he's my auntie. This person is my, sister. And no, 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 no.
Or
We
she's from my
would,
set.
or she's from my, no, 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 because we want to move this OGA to the next level. We want to move
Okay.
forward.
Okay.
So I can assure you of that, and you can hold us to that. Thank you.
All right. Speaking of that, a report was posted in the General House. A report was posted in the General House few days ago, and then it was from the committee set up by the past ESCOs to look into the 8692 sets, the class registration. And then they gave a report of what happened between the committee set up and the representatives of the class 8692. Now, elections are dictating what is the way forward. And the way forward is not what we do before, sweep issues on the carpet. The way forward they are dictating for is what is the sanction for this that has happened. And this is essentially your office duty, if I am right. Right?
Yes,
Okay.
Osas.
This is essentially the duty of the office of the chief whip. From what I was made to understand, your office is meant to bring the rights, or should I say, you prefer the sanctions to the ESCO, and then your office is to bring to all Solatians on maybe your platforms that this is what we have agreed as ESCOs, and from the office of the chief whip, this is what should be done to 8692, and you are to effect it. When should we be expecting that?
Thank you, Sas, for this question.
Okay.
It's we all know what's been going on the group. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the reports of the committee. And all that's their recommendations. So right now, the ESCO is already deliberating on it, and
Okay.
we would reach a resolution very soon, and we would report back to the House. I can assure you of that.
So we should be
I can assure
expecting
you.
from the office of the chief whip a response anytime soon.
Very, very, very much so. Very much so.
Okay.
Very
Okay,
much so.
because when agitation starts in a group or an association, when those at the top are not responding, everybody feels, oh, are they not hearing us? We are saying this, we are doing this, and again, it gives room for the other person who is watching to say nothing was done to A. So if I do it, then I can get away with it. All right, thank you
You're
very
very
much. And
correct.
in case you're just joining us, so far I have here with me Mrs. Temitope Benjamin-Iraya. She is of the 95 2001 set, and she is currently the newly inducted Chief Whip 2 of our association. I think we have had lots of questions. In case you're just joining us, you must have missed the whole lot because she has been taking us through the duties of her office, the challenges, and what they have done so far and what they are doing currently and what we should still expect from them for the course of the tenure that they would be spending. And so please, if you have questions for my guest, feel free to drop them for her. I would sure read them to her, and I am sure my guest is here ready and waiting to answer our questions. So please, you can type out your questions here in the comment section. I will read them out to my guest. So Temitope, we can actually go for, I am not sure, but please let me just check to be sure that I don't have questions for you already from our guests or from our viewers so far. Okay, good evening, Ola Hansibuki. Good evening, Ma. Thank you for joining us. I have someone here else again. See, Tomilayo Shikumaya. Thank you for joining us today. Saying hello to our beautiful guest. Thank you very much, Ma. She can always hear that. I have here again. I think this is Ms. Olade Oshinusi Oyetunji. She's watching. Thank you very much for watching. Okay. And Pedro Akeju is also watching. Okay, that is someone from your team. Okay. I haven't brought her here too, but I know definitely she has to be here. She's saying good evening to everyone watching. Okay, Odewale is saying apology is accepted, and I believe all other Latians have accepted the apology from the office of the chief whip, and the chief whip too has assured us that such a thing would not happen again. They would be standby for orderliness in our meetings. All right. See, yesterday, Uluwaruna, thank you very much, ma. Good evening, ma. Thank you for joining us. All right, ma. I don't think I have any questions here for you from Malaysians, so I can still go ahead with my own questions. But in case you have questions for her, please drop them and I'll read them to her. She's willing to answer all of our questions. Okay, ma. I think I will continue with my own questions now that there are no
Okay.
questions. Um, you mentioned something the other time about rancor in the group, and then I'm very sure you are aware of that. And while you were coming into office, you must have had maybe so many things to do, like you mentioned earlier, that you were ready to foster discipline in every one of us, no matter our class, no matter our age or status. We just have to abide by the rules and regulations and have a good community for us as sisters. Okay, so I think this my question will go this way. We have this rancor then. I'm sure if you're familiar with it, but I'm sure you should be, where you are my senior, and then I have an issue with you. I could actually bring my point in, in a very civil manner. I believe civility should be applied. and then I tell you no, I think it should be this. You tell me no, it should be A. I say no, it should be F. But in the course of doing that, caution is thrown to the wind, and then the whole house becomes rowdy. Everybody starts throwing in insults one way or the other, and before so many people try to leave the group because they feel the messages are coming in too much and they are not palatable messages for them. This is actually the duty of your office as the chief whip. What do you have in plan for us? What plans do you have in place to say, okay, we have to nip this in the bud once it starts, before it degenerates to one person insulting a senior, the other senior insulting a junior because they want to make a point. And then this person from our set feels I have to support my classmates. She goes in and then it becomes rowdy. So what has your office, or what have you as a chief whip, I think that's the best way to ask you, what have you as a chief whip put in place? What plans have you put in place that we don't start saying it's okay, everybody, it's okay, it's okay? You as a chief, what do you have in place to nip this issue in the bud when it starts?
Thank you once again, Osas. And this question you asked, it is a very valid one. It is a case, is a case study, an example of what has happened oftentimes in the OGA on the group.
Okay.
And I know, later on, if you yourself would recollect, I think a resolution was reached then that, okay, if two people, are having issues, is to send them out of the group.
Of the group.
You won't come to the group to disturb the group, distort it, and then, turn it into a community fight or a family fight or team fight. The both parties would not be allowed to go on and on and on and on the group. No. It is a no. They'll be taken out, and then, individually we'll try to wade in. Looking at the issues objectively, without biases, without sentiments.
Before having them back on the group.
Yes. And make sure they reach, civility, that stage or state of civility where they are able to, communicate with each other without, using foul languages.
Yes.
Because we're adults, we should be able to communicate with each other.
Yes.
We should be able to pass our points across to each other, without going overboard, without, being insultive and
caution to the wind. And,
no. We would not allow that in this dispensation. That one has been gone and it is bygone forever. We would not allow it. Anybody trying to, maybe bring this and that, we take them out.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. In taking them out, you just mentioned, in taking them out, the office of the PRO is in charge of adding and removing members on our forums. So are you trying to tell me now that you have liaised with the office of the PRO to know that once you are waiting in as the chief whip, then they are ready to do that duty of taking the person out, and not the PROs telling you, it's just 2 minutes into it, we can still wait, but you have seen it and you feel now is the time to get this person out, or the PROs are not available, and then you have to call them because you are not by the constitution authorized to do that. So are you saying that you have this should I say agreement with the office of the PRO to swing into action when you are ready to discharge your duties?
Thank you, Osas. Let me say this here. This present executives, this ESCO, we are determined. There is synergy between us, synchronization between us. We are determined to make things work this time around. This time around, we are very determined to make things work because all eyes are on us. The whole of Olas OGA are looking at us. They are watching us. They are checking us out. So it is something we cannot afford to mess up, and God would help us. So there is synergy between us. There is communication between us. So we communicate with each other. So when such
Okay.
happens, because of the synergy, it is not an exco that one person or one party or there's clique there. No, 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 no.
Okay.
We are working together.
Together. Okay. So
Yes. So when that
we should be
happens,
rest assured that
please be
decorum
rest
would be
assured.
instilled immediately we want it to be, before people now
Yes.
start saying, where is the chief whip? I think we voted
Exactly.
in two chief whips.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. I think I have a question here. Okay, the question says, when you were in Olas, can it be said that you are a disciplined person? I think that is a very good question. For someone to be able to instill discipline in someone, then we have to see that virtue in you as a person. Can we say, like I mentioned earlier on about biases, you are from a set, and then maybe someone from your set is the erring member here, and your office is to do that. And let's assume your chief whip one is not available. You have to stand in place for that and carry out that duty. Can it be said that I knew her when she was in Olas, Konile saw because God, the same thing. That's the same thing she does. Or that's the same way she is. She can insult her senior at any time. So she would even cheer her mate on to insult her senior. Or she would buy into it. So I think this is a very good question. Can you please respond to this question? When you were in Olas, can it be said that you are a disciplined person?
Okay, thank you, Osas. This question you're giving me, to me, it looks like you're giving me question papers
Okay.
to answer. At the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you're giving me pen, to
Mm-hmm.
mark
To
myself.
mark. Okay, so
Yes,
it's like
I
blowing your
would say,
trumpet. You can do that.
oh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
Oh, well,
Okay.
Temitope, I would say I am a disciplined person. Even when
Okay.
I was in Olas, I wish my
Okay.
mates were here, to
Oh,
probably,
why? You should have them here,
say
at
more,
least. Yeah.
maybe to say more or something. But
Okay.
yes, ma'am, I would say I am a discipline. I was a disciplined person, and
And you still
I'm still a
one.
disciplined person.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that response. Please, you can drop your questions for my guest. She's ready to answer all our questions. And she's still here. So far, we've been having a good ride this evening. And I still have some of my questions for her. But please, you can also drop your questions for my guest, and she would sure do justice to the questions. So, moving forward, there are no other questions here from you, from our viewers. I have this question. You work with someone in your team. You are not the only person in your team. What is the relationship between you and the chief whip one? And what plans have you both put together, to say when in terms of, there's something, I don't know, I really don't know how to put it, but, thinking ahead, I think I can simplify it to that. Thinking ahead, people would do this. It is normal. People would do this, people would do that. What are the plans you have put in place in terms of disciplinary measures that, okay, in case someone does this, I think this is a good discipline for that person. This is a good verdict to say, okay, um, we need to address this issue this way, and then you put it aside. So it doesn't turn out to be that when we need your office to be spontaneous or proactive about something, and then it takes your office about 10 days. Yes, I know you have your individual lives to attend to, but then, when you have it at hand, when the issue arises at the end of the day, you are sure to say, okay, I think we have something like this that we have discussed before. Like, so I want to know, do you have any synergy with your chief whip one? What's your relationship with her? And in terms of disciplinary measures, what have you put in place? Like, okay, in case this is happening in our meetings, we can do this. In case there are two members or a set that is doing that, we can always do this. And then you present to the ESCOs when the time is right. So it doesn't look like, oh, a situation is approaching or a situation has surfaced, and then it is taking your office 10 days, 2 weeks to act. And before you can even enact such, it takes another time again because you're still in the talking stage of trying to say, no, this is too harsh, no, this is too lenient, or no, if you do this, no one will take it serious. And then by the time you conclude, just like I said, time is gone. maybe the issue has actually been swept under the carpet, like we're trying to avoid. So, what is your relationship with the chief whip one, and what are these? Have you actually put these disciplinary measures on ground? Like, okay, we can be proactive if we have this in place already.
Thank you, Sas. My relationship with the with Chief Whip One, Mommy Peju Akeju, it's a cordial one, of love and mutual respect. Outside the exco, we communicate. We check on each other, and then we talk. Like this issue of the 86-92 set. We have, I don't want to, I won't, say anything about it here
Oh no,
because we
no.
are still, yes, the house with, like I said, this particular ESCO, there is no single person going off anywhere, to say anything. When we talk, we know we are talking together.
Okay.
So there is a
A
good
one
relationship
voice.
between us.
Good.
Yes, there is a good
Okay.
relationship between us. And then we know, oh, this, oh, this, oh, that. When I said the other time when we started that there had been maybe one or two teething problems, teething issues, we were able to speak the same language, in addressing such. So we have set what English would I use now? We have set measures, yes, for issues that are to
For
come.
issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I think I appreciate that as a person. I'll tell you my reasons, like I said earlier on, that when when my friend does something in the house, in the general OGA house, and then no one reprimands her, and 70% of the house says, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. But she gets no discipline for what she has done. She gets no one chastises her, maybe in form of fine or anything, or leave the group, or write an apology to come back. Or, okay, this person that you have done this to, because a senior can actually offend the junior as much as a junior can offend the senior.
Yes.
You know, as a group, you can actually be wrong. As an individual, you can be wrong. But like I said earlier on, if, for example, my friend has done it and nothing was done, no discipline was measured or meted at her. Then when I do it, I don't expect anybody to say anything because I would believe that what you have overlooked for A, you should overlook it for me. You should not say, oh, because she's my friend or my sister, or her father helped me to get the job that I'm in now, so because of that I can't talk. But you want to talk in my own issue now because it is me that you don't know. It is me that you don't have a relationship that is mutual with. Now I want to see your office act. I could be rebellious. And before you know it, this actually degenerates to a very bad state and it doesn't keep an association that way good. Because when I feel I can do anything and get away with it, and it also breeds side talks. I want you shame. You know the way we can always be as humans and individuals when we feel okay, some people are above the law, while you want to exercise your power on those that you feel who are they or who is she as a person. So I think I really appreciate the fact that you and the chief whip one actually have this set disciplinary measures on ground. So in case these issues now arise later in the future, you are able to say, okay, I think we have this on ground. It should go for this kind of situation. You understand what I am saying, ma? And
Yes, I
at the
do.
end of the day, the decorum, the discipline, the orderliness, the mutual respect and love that you have actually promised us, we can see in the OGA when you're discharging your duties without any form of favor. So I think I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And to your team,
Thank you,
I'm saying
Osas.
thank you. Yes. And as regards that, we hope and expect to see that in action and not just in words
Yes,
alone.
Osas, not just talks. I understand you.
Okay.
Not just talks. Be
Yes.
rest assured. This time around, issues would not be swept on the carpet, and that's on period. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think someone came in again. Okay, it's a question. Who were your close pals back then in school? Okay, okay. This is going kind of personal, but okay, you can answer them. You can answer the question first.
Okay, back then in school, unfortunately, they are not here to,
Oh,
watch
you
me.
should have brought them here. You should have brought
Well, I
them here
sent out the
to
links,
check
but
you
you know
out.
how it is. We have families,
Mhm,
commitments and all that.
mhm.
I would say, Rhino Salvador, Ronke Ayanbadejo, Toke Balogun, I would say those, especially Ronke Ayanbadejo and Rhino Salvador. There were some other people too, I would say I was a happy-go-lucky person. I just do my thing. But over time, you know how it is. You go your separate ways. We're trying to enter school, university, and all that. Some
You lost
entered before
touch and
others.
communication with people.
It's not, yeah, at a point we lost communication. Later we started communicating, but along the lines, some other persons, you've made some other friends. They too, they have made some other friends, but you still have. But there is one person that after school we were not close. you know and while I was in school, while we were in school, yes. Fumi Ogunaike. After school we now became very close.
Very close.
After
Okay.
school, that I mean after university.
Okay.
Then I was still in Lagos. I was waiting to go for youth service. She had even finished youth service in my
Okay.
estate in Lagos, and we just stumbled on each other. Ah, Fumi, wah, 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 wah. And
And
since
that was
then,
it. Take it up from there.
I'm telling you, since then it's been, she's not in the country, but
Okay.
we always catch up.
All
When
right.
I
That's a lovely
pregnant,
one.
when I put to bed, when she's pregnant, things like that.
And that's it.
We always catch up. So that is one person I would say, oh, 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 oh. No, for me, Layo Gunaike, we are tight. I would say, right now, we were not close then in school, you say life, but right
Mhm.
now we
Mhm.
are very
Very
tight.
very
We are
close.
very close. And she's a medical doctor. So when I'm pregnant, when something is doing me like this, not even, in fact, she's literally my doctor.
Mhm.
Or let me say she's literally my children's doctor, because when something is happening, okay, maybe the children, one of my children running temperature, high temp and all that, how can I for me this Tuesday? Okay, do this, okay, do that. And there's an act she actually taught me, so she's my go-to.
Okay. Go
She's
to
a
person
wonderful
all
person.
around.
Yes, she's a wonderful person.
Okay. Yeah, that was away from your office, and I think I want to
Mm.
bring you back. Yeah, I want to bring you back
Okay.
now. And I asked this question not even to the ESCOs alone. I ask other individuals that come here, and then, you know, it's the question is kind of personal, but at the
Okay.
same time, I think as a person in an association or a group, you want to contribute your own quota in a way, and there is a particular way you want to see that association grow for you to still be a member, for you to still participate in that group or association. So I want to ask this
Mm.
question. For you as an individual, what are your plans for the OGA to see that it ensures that unity, to see that it is taken from one good height to another greater height, and for our school, because the aim of us coming together as a body is to give back to our school. That is the first aim. Every other thing follows. What plans as an individual do you have for the OGA to foster love and unity, and as the school is involved, to also
Mm.
see that its glory is restored? What plans do you have as regards that as an individual?
Okay, as an individual, I would say I would love to see an OGA that is strengthened in core values,
Mm-hmm.
in our core values, discipline, mutual respect for each other, especially or essentially in all that Olas instilled in us.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes when we chat, maybe on the group, maybe remember some sisters, some teachers, it's I would say
Mm-hmm.
there's a line, and it's a straight line. Is the same
Mm-hmm.
thing we're talking about discipline. You
Yeah.
know, that discipline has always been, in all. So I would want to see an OGA, that will be strengthened, doing my own bit, doing my own part, doing discharging my duties without biases,
Mm-hmm.
sentiment, favoritism, because I know that if all these things are present, I won't be able to do that. For
Exactly.
example, just the example you gave earlier about maybe somebody being your friend, but
Mm-hmm.
let me say being my friend, and I won't do that. Why? Because I want to see all us go from height, you know from
Right.
one great height to another greater height.
Another.
Then relationship is very, very important.
Okay.
Relationships is very, very important. Yoruba say omileyan, omileyan. A very dear senior, you know, told me a story. Another of our senior, now both people I'm talking about, they are, elderly, way older than
Mm-hmm.
me. She told me a story. Okay, another dear senior lost someone close, you know,
To her.
to her, and she told me a story. Said of how important. She said she would go literally. Let me just say it, figuratively, almost to any length to
For that
support that
person.
particular senior. That she remembered when she was getting married. And when she called her, she had made arrangements and all that, and how it is with weddings. And she
Mm-hmm.
called her that, oh, I'm getting. She was like, what? What? Really? You're getting married? I'm buying your wedding dress.
Yes.
I'm the one. Oh no, don't want to. Don't worry. No, 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 no. I
Mm.
am buying it. And she did that. Now she did that many years ago.
Years
Now
ago.
this particular senior that did that, lost someone close to her. And this person that, was telling me the story that they bought the wedding gown for can
For her.
still remember. That is what is
Hmm.
called relationship.
Relationship,
The
yes.
truth of the matter, Osas, is that we can do a lot together than we can do
You're
apart.
right. Very well.
Well, we
You're
can do
right.
a lot together in unity, in
Mm-hmm.
togetherness, you know,
Exactly.
than we can do
Apart.
apart. We actually need each other. That
Yes.
being said, that doesn't now mean because we need each other. Maybe some people come to want to disrupt the OG and you say because you need, no, 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 no,
Mm-mm.
that's not what I'm saying. You know, when
Mm-hmm.
people decide to be reasonable, to be civil,
Exactly.
that's what I'm talking about. So relationships, I see an OGA. I want to see an OGA that is strengthening in relationships. That, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you need this. Oh, there's somebody. You can easily call the person. Osas. Oh, Osas is somewhere. Okay, I can easily call you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
for things. So I want to see an OGA that is strengthening, and then the image of all us restored, the
Yes.
integrity, the glory, restore. There are so many issues, the issues of the fence, of the drainage, of the chapel and all that, I really trust God to help us to reach, an agreement, a consensus on what we would actually do, to actually restore the glory of all us. And in saying that, I would do my part. God helping me, I would do my bit. If each and every one of us decide to do our part, now imagine
Mm-hmm.
our many, 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 many parts. Correct part to correct bit, what we're supposed
Mm-hmm.
to do. Now bringing all of them together, then what are you saying? The sky would be our beginning.
And yes. Thank you very much for that. And I
Thank you.
pray and hope that God strengthens you and empowers you to be able to
Amen.
do what you have wished in your heart, and then even more than you have actually wished, because it takes a whole lot to carry out whatever you wish or desire. It takes strength, it takes finance, it takes time. And I pray
Yes.
God empowers you, yes, with the right resources and time to be able to carry it out. Yes, I think I'll take one last question before we call it a night. The question says, please tell us your most, oh, I'm sorry, my glasses not here. Please tell us your most memorable time and how does it affect your later life?
Okay, is it my most memorable time in school, or should I just
Okay, I
say
yes,
my
that
most
should be.
memorable time in life?
I think it should be in school. I think it should be in school.
Okay, okay. Hmm. Okay. I would say my most memorable time in school was it's funny, when I got
No,
to senior class.
we've
uh,
had so many funny stories here.
When I
Okay.
got to senior
In
class,
school, yes. Yes.
yes, in school,
It
when I
says in
got to senior
yeah,
class,
it says in
and
school.
I realized that, oh, now I have freedom. Now freedom in quotes, I won't be punished. I can
You are
escape
not a senior.
punishment. Exactly. I can escape punishment. I can escape this. I can escape that. You understand? So I would say, when I got to that stage, I was like, I could breathe. Had a breath
Okay.
of fresh air.
Fresh air.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say that, and then I also would say friendships. You know,
Okay.
friendships,
You're going
friendships
to
in
relate it to
school.
how it has affected you later in life,
Yes, yes, I'm
outside the
coming to that.
class. Okay.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Friendships in school, relationships. And I remember one thing that friendship helped me to do. Growing up, my dad was never there. So it was only my mom.
Okay.
And I think she just used to come see me once in a term,
Mm-hmm.
just one visiting day,
On the
mid term. I'm always in school, or maybe I go and stay with relatives, in
okay.
Ijebu. So for me, there was
There was a
let
gap.
me say there was a gap. Thank you. That's the word. There was a gap. There was a gap. Most of the visiting days, I would see other parents coming.
Coming.
Especially with their mom and dad. I knew my mom was doing a lot, already, but really the gap
It wasn't
was
enough.
there. So
Yeah.
now, how that affected me in life, you know, it affected me in a way that I would say when I entered university, I now decided to, will I say, lock up?
Hmm.
If I can use that word, lock up, meaning I just felt alone in the whole world. I felt, oh, nobody cares about me.
About
And so
me.
that pushed me to get up and start doing things for myself.
Yourself.
Yes, to start, if I can use the word also, even though I don't like using the
Mhm.
word also, to
Mhm.
also for myself. I remember when
Mhm.
I was in 200 level, my mom was very ill, very, very ill, and then she called me and told me, well, she has tried which really indeed she had tried that, so I should probably maybe defer my admission and all. I had even obliged that. It was later when I was on my own, I was like, what? Why would I do that? I'm sure there are orphans in this school,
Hmm.
and one way or the
They
other
were able to see
they
themselves
they were.
through.
Thank you. So I told myself, no, I won't sit. Then I went on to meet an aunt, and she taught
Okay.
me basic catering,
Mhm.
which I now started doing in
So you're
school.
a
And before I,
caterer.
yes, so I'm a caterer.
Okay. I think we still have to bring you back. We would still have to bring
No
you back,
problem.
and by then, because this story you have just said, in one way or the other, it could be motivating to someone.
Yes,
For someone who is in your shoes presently and is thinking, can I
yes,
actually have a
do
headway?
this.
Is it
Yes,
possible I do it by myself? Can I get help elsewhere? I think your story can actually motivate such a person that yes,
yes,
I have done it and I believe you
yes,
can do it. Okay.
yes.
All right.
So
I
that
think we still have to bring you
loneliness,
back.
that gap, created an hunger in me, created,
Hmm.
this
The
urge that
zeal and the
the
drive.
zeal, thank you, I must, it now became a
It's a
must
must.
that I must strive, to go to school. I must strive to
Mm-hmm.
fit, and it's just been like that with me. And I would say that time, even though when then in school, it was an unhappy moment or an unhappy time,
Mm-hmm.
those times,
Mm-hmm.
but it really created something in me. It helped me to look inwards, that okay,
Exactly.
there's an issue, this is the issue, what can I do to
Hmm.
actually make lemonade, out
Out of
of
your
these
lemons.
lemons. Thank you. I
All
hope I was able
right.
to answer
Thank
the
you.
question.
Oh, I believe so. I believe so because I actually caught something from that too, and I hope as much as are watching right now and those that watch the repeat broadcast later, I'm sure they have been able to pick out something from this. So, in case you're just joining us, I can tell you that you have actually missed a whole lot. My guest has been Mrs. Temitope Benjamin-Iraya. She's of the 95 2001 set, and she is a newly inducted Chief Whip 2 of our association. We have had a whole lot of questions for her, and she has, reassured us again that as a person, as an ESCO, voted in that new dispensation that we have just inducted a few months back, and as a team with our Chief Whip 1, she's ready to discharge her duties without fear or favor, and she's ready to take out all forms of biases because, just like I told you, your office will deal with a whole lot of biases. Your office comes with, should I say, just like you mentioned, relationships, knowing people, meeting people, building formidable relationship because in the course of you carrying out dispute resolution, you are also trying to build a relationship, telling A that you can present your point without being insultive, telling B that you should be civil in relaying your points too. And I believe you would be able to discharge your duties as you've promised us because now you're in office, so we have to hold you accountable going forward from now.
That's
Okay,
right.
so thank you very much, and I hope for those that will watch the repeat broadcast later, they will be able to get a grasp of what you have had for us so far today. So on that note, can we have your final words? It can be on your office, personal life, work, general life, whatever it is. Let's have your final words.
Okay, thank you again, Osas. I would want to say to the OGA, the entirety of all us OGA, that this time around, by the special grace of God Almighty, issues would not be swept under the carpet. The era of let's move on. No, 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 hold it, stop. When
Good.
we hear such issues, we would put that stop sign, stop.
Stop.
Just stop there. There is nothing like moving on. When you have not resolved an issue, you have
Mm-hmm.
not moved on. You cannot move on.
Move on.
Because if you sweep it, it's just like, you're in your house, you pick your broom, you sweep things under your bed. You sweep
You will bring them
one
out
day,
again.
exactly. You will need something there, and then you would bring them out.
Out.
So there is nothing like that. I want the all us OG to be rest assured that this time
Okay.
around, God helping us, not in our own strength, things would be different. Things
All
would
right.
be
Be
different.
different.
And then personally, I would say let's keep at it. Let's
Okay.
keep at it. Let's not, in whatever we are doing, let's continue doing whatever good I mean now,
Mhm.
whatever thing is noble, is pure, is good, is
Pure.
true, let's keep
Keep at
at
it.
it. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. It might not be
Tunnel.
easy now. It might not be
Mhm.
easy. It might not even look it. You might look at life and say, where exactly is even this life going to? But
Going.
let's keep at it, trusting the Creator, God Almighty. There is always light at the
At the
end
end of.
of the tunnel. There is hope for a living dog than a dead
Mhm.
lion. A
Exactly.
dead lion is dead. It might be big.
Exactly.
What?
I'm
It
powerless.
it is
Mhm.
gone.
Sure.
It is gone. So there is hope. Thank you so so much,
Okay.
Asas. Thank you
You're
for having me.
welcome. Thank you so, so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. Thank you for honoring my invitation. And I hope if I have to bring you here again, you would still honor our invitation to come. Thank you so much. And for everyone that has been watching, thank you so much for joining us again, as always. I'm sure you enjoyed today's episode from my guests. And I think the next person that will be coming in December, I'm hoping the person would not be an escort. I am hoping. I'm hoping because I want to go away from this escort thing as fast as possible. But yes, we still have a whole lot of escorts to bring in. But let's just hope that If it is the ESCO that is coming, no problem. But we should just have in mind that we have a good guest that is coming again in December. So thank you very much for joining. Thank you for watching again. I appreciate your constant, you know, your constant tenacity to always watch this program. And for those that will be watching later on, thank you also for watching. And I'm sure you missed a lot because so many that were here had the opportunity of asking my guests some questions. And like I always say, and some of the ESCOs that I have actually interviewed, and the one I have here today has said we need to join us together to see that our school and our OGA reaches the height that we want it to be. So all hands has to be on deck. If you are to come in physically, if you are to come in spiritually, if you are to come in financially, nothing is too small. And little drops of water make a mighty ocean. So don't say they don't need my 1,000 naira. They need the millions. Yes, we need the millions, but the little you
Mhm.
bring adds up too. So please let us endeavor to play our part in our set as an individual and in the general body of the OGA to see that our association and the school is brought to the heights that we want it to be. So a very big thank you again for you all joining me today. I appreciate, and thank you to my guests once again. I think on this note we can say a goodbye, and we'll see you again next time on this same page for a guest that would come our way. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. Bye.